Hi, everybody. Welcome to our next remote learning panel focusing on teletherapy. We have three of our wonderful CCC BSD related service providers joining us today. So if you wouldn't each mind taking a quick moment to introduce yourself and describe your role at the school, because we do have quite a few new staff onboarding right now who might not know your faces just yet. Suzanne, you want to kick us off?
Sure. My name is Suzanne Jobski, and I am the director of the Occupational Therapy Department.
Awesome. Christina?
Yep, I'm Christina Galati, and I am the department head for the communication department.
Lynn?
And my name is Lynn Batty, and I'm the director of the physical therapy department.
Awesome. So thank the three of you very much for joining me today. And we've had a pretty unique situation over the past few months, particularly as it relates to providing related service for our students. So I was wondering if you might just take a moment to describe a day in the life of a related service provider who is engaging in teletherapy or telehealth with the students and families of CCC BSD. What does your typical day look like?
I can start with that one. So typically every morning I try to get on and as early as possible to read through any emails that parents would have sent or teachers would have sent, any updates about what's going on in the students' day-to-day at home. A lot of collaboration across departments and through collaboration with like teachers and the families. So just making sure that all the pieces are kind of put together before like the teletherapy day starts, I think has been like a really key part to my day-to-day and my team's day-to-day. And then after that, it's a lot of Zooms, getting on and seeing families and working with families and our students and troubleshooting to figure out how we can help adapt and make our kiddos as independent as possible while they're at home.
And in physical therapy, I start the day very similar, checking the emails to see what the problems are of the day, what needs to be adjusted or what needs to be set up. We do a bunch of physical equipment trainings and helping to fit things, standards and gait trainers that maybe were at home and not used so much and now that need to be adjusted. And so working with the parents or the caregivers to adjust that equipment with using the Zoom just to move around. So we do things like that. We do some physical therapy one-to-one where the parent is helping intervene for us, being our hands. But a lot of what we're doing is bringing together groups of kids to work on skills that they all need. And the social emotional benefit as well as the connection to the school is kept while moving their bodies, but not necessarily in the precise way that we would do in physical therapy.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything to add, Christina, or is your day kind of similar?
Nope, so for my department, communication, speech language therapy, it's similar. We start the day early, just checking emails. I might have a consult Zoom meeting with one of my SLPAs or with my team or with a teacher. And then usually it's back-to-back therapy sessions with students for most of the day. So most of our sessions are 30 minutes, less for those students who can't tolerate that and more for students who can. And we work on a variety of things in our sessions. It might be articulation, it might be using their communication device. So I can, screen share and model my AAC app on my iPad and they use their app, their iPad through the Zoom. Also just working on sign language with students who are deaf. And then we have a few groups as well. So we have some groups of up to 5 students in a communication group.
Great. How do you think your relationships with families have changed during this time? Or if they have changed, and in what way or what ways?
I think it's a great silver lining of this whole situation is being able to see the families, have them sit right there while you're doing therapy so they know what you're actually doing and they can carry it over. I've had parents that are using cues for articulation therapy, and they sound like they're the SLP sitting next to their child. I'm like, this is great. You're doing this. This is what we do. So I think that's been really nice.
I want to echo that. I think our families have stepped up to the plate, and a lot of them have taken this in stride and really, I mean, like Lynn said earlier, there are hands, especially during our more physical, therapies. And so really being there and learning about how we're doing therapy at school to help our kids be more independent. Our parents are now doing that at home, and they know the skill set and they know what we're working towards, and they hear our prompt levels and what we're cueing. And so I think that alone, and having conversations with the parents about why we're doing certain things and why we're doing things in a certain manner, have really benefited not only our students, but our parents and the relationship that we have as therapists with our parents.
We hosted a parent support meeting a few weeks ago, and that was something that several of the parents echoed as well, that was beneficial for them. As now I get to see the way that the teacher does the reading lesson, or the way that the speech and language person does this particular activity, or the OT or whatever. It was, I think from all sides, it's been I like that phrase, a silver lining, that it's been an unexpected benefit is being able to communicate more directly with families and kind of share that knowledge both ways.
I also think we've had really good experiences with our students who are older, who are going to age out in the next couple of years. And the parents were like, wow, this is such a wake-up call, because all this stuff that was being taken care of by therapists, I'm going to be needing to do, because there's not going to be those supports then. And so I need to know how to fix this wheelchair. So us walking them through it was like, now I can do that. And now I know how to do his, adjust his communication device. And now I know how to help him do these different things. And it was something that they hadn't reached there yet. Yeah. And she was, I feel so happy now that I've got 3 years to learn this. Mm-hmm. And so I think that this remote therapy hopefully will stay an integral part of our CCC BSC experience, to connect with those parents, keep that connection while also treating in person.
In some of our other panels, we've had teachers or TAs reflect that there are certain things that were really beneficial, and strategies or, pieces of technology that they'd like to continue using. And it sounds like from the perspective of the related service providers, there might be practices that we can supplement what we did before with these, sort of new and unique ways of connecting with students and with their families.
Yeah, I think in regards to what you just said, we had to think creatively and out of the box. And at least in my department, we were able to create new, PowerPoints and new ways of addressing, ADLs that we can definitely bring into the school and into in-person therapy that I think will really benefit. So it's really, that outside of the box, that creative thinking in order to teach through a teletherapy lens is definitely going to benefit when we're all back in school.
Do each of you or any of you have a favorite session or a lesson or an activity that you did during the last few months that you'd want to share with your colleagues?
Something so simple that I've been using a lot in my sessions is there's just this free website. It's called Wheel Decide. There's also one called Wheel of Names, and you can basically plug in any conversation starter or target word or anything and just spin the wheel and screen share, and kids love it. It's so simple and easy, and I've been using that a lot in my sessions. Something else we've been doing is virtual field trips, which is really great because there's a lot of great websites right now for like aquariums or going to the zoo that have webcams. So you can kind of plan the fake field trip, talk about what you need to bring, focus on those WH questions, and then go and watch the webcams online and practice that descriptive language. And that's been actually really fun.
I've had a lot of fun creating different tools and adaptations of things that I use at home. So color coding things that parents are then using at home to teach, folding of towels and folding of things at home and creating things out of corrugated plastic and getting them delivered to families who need them for any of the adapted tools that our kids may use. We've also, like Lynn touched on, is learning all of the technology. So I was able to, you know, in my department, we were able to get all of the technology pieces to our families for our kids who use switches and our kids who engage with power links and iPads in different ways. So we are able to get all of the tools to our families, and teaching them and having our kids teach their parents what they're doing with them has been, I think, really fun to watch.
I think my favorite is dance club, where we come together, and all of the students that are in this group have been doing these exercises all together. And so now they're in their own homes, but they're familiar with the exercises. They know what the expectations are, and they go through them, and then they get to dance. So I have 2 computers. I share my screen so that they can watch a dance video that they've chosen through ASL, or we have an interpreter with us on the BSD one. And then they all dance together by just watching it on the screen. And I go on another computer so I can see everybody large. But it's just really, it's fun. It's a good connection. And it was really nice to see how something I thought, there's no way we can have dance club, turned out to be a real hit with all of them. And they're there every week. So
That's nice to hear you reflect, Lynn, that it was something that initially you thought, well, that's not something we can continue, but then you found a way to make it work, and having it be such a beneficial thing, you know, yes, physically, but also, you know, socially and emotionally for the kids to have that connection and to keep that little piece of their routine going. It's really nice. Did
Right.
anybody else have anything surprising like that you felt like, I didn't think this was going to work and then it did, or I had this really good thing and then it didn't work out? Anything that was kind of a surprise to you?
Completing ADLs, working with our kiddos on their activities of daily living, their, you know, morning routines that we would do at school of toothbrushing and hairbrushing and face washing. I think doing them from like my bathroom and modeling with my iPad and showing them how I would do it at my home, and they're showing me. And it turns out, I mean, with the parental support there, I mean, our kids are doing so well and tolerating things in different ways that at home was always a challenge. And so I think as like when I first thought about trying to complete ADLs on Zoom, I was like struck. I had no idea where to go. And then doing it with them and showing them how I would do it and all of that, I think really was surprising at how well it turned out, I think, throughout the last couple of months.
That's great.
I think just in general, the whole idea of doing remote therapy in the beginning when this first happened, it was like, no way, like our students won't benefit or access from this. And we've been surprised across the board that a lot of them are doing really well. And I think it's just something we never thought we would end up doing. And now we've learned so many new skills and so much technology, and it actually worked out pretty well for a lot of students.
Things we can hopefully carry forward, like you mentioned.
yep.
I know a few of you have 12 o'clock cutoffs here, and as we're taping, we want to be respectful of your time. Is there anything that you wanted to add before we wrap up? I know that we'll wrap up our panel, but we're also wrapping up our school year. Everybody's kind of ready for a break. So is there anything you guys wanted to add before we sign off for today?
I just wanted to say thank you to all the teachers and the teacher assistants that have supported my Zooms a lot of times, and the interpreters. And we couldn't do it without it being a team. It can't be just a person going on and doing this. And several people come to dance club, so it really is a party. It's not just the kids feeling like these expectations are there. And I've been watching people do sit-ups. It's just hilarious. In different backgrounds with a dog licking their ear, and it's okay. So thank you to them.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think at least from my department and the collaboration, I think across all departments, we can say that like the collaboration with the team, like Lynn said, including your teacher's assistants, including the teachers, including the parents, the sister, the brother that might be helping with that. I think without that, a lot of our therapy, our teletherapy, would not have been successful. So I think overall it was a successful last couple of months, you know, entering in with this, starting, and but without the support of everyone and everyone working and being flexible and learning as we go and understanding that it was a learning process for everyone, was definitely something that was appreciated, I think, across the board of all the therapists that were working with the kids.
Yeah, I would echo that. I would just say that as a community, our CCCBSD community has been so supportive, and I feel like we've done a really nice job of all staying connected throughout this. And I think being who we are has made the whole situation a lot easier.
As someone who's not in the classroom or therapy space anymore, it's been really impressive to watch the way the teams have come together and supported the students and supported each other. It's, you know, I guess we shouldn't be surprised because we know we're an awesome organization, but thank you to the three of you and to Jenna for providing communication access. Appreciate you taking the time and looking forward to seeing you maybe in the summer or come fall in person again. So once again, thank you, and please enjoy your summer break, and we'll look forward to coming back together soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.